that? I am the king!
What's up, Headless Horde? Sunday night, we're back. We are back. On Sunday night, 7 o'clock. We got House of the Dragon coming up in like 6 months, so stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Dude, we just got some breaking news on Star Wars, actually, as we're about to go on live here. Let me just bring on my co-host because I want to talk to him about this and see how he feels about this. I don't know that many details. I just saw it pop up my feed though. Mr. Ryan Milky, what is up, my brother?
I'm good. It's Sunday. It's chilling. Let's do this.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to be back on Sunday. You know, it makes sense to do Thursdays when we have some Disney Star Wars stuff. But, dude, I don't even know when we're getting the next thing. So, we'll be back on Thursdays, probably breaking that down. But for the time being, I'm going to stick on Sundays because we have House of the Dragon coming up eventually this year. And football is basically over, even though I know there's games on today and whatnot. It just scrolled across over there in the old YouTube channel, and I saw a couple people drop videos already. So they're doing a what if series, I guess, based on Star Wars. So the thumbnail I saw had like a burned up Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker in the light. I don't know, man. What do you think? I mean, I don't really watch the Marvel what if stuff. So I mean, I've watched a few of them, and it's fine for what it is. But I'm also a bigger Star Wars fan, so. What say you?
I say, please give me more. Like, we know that we're currently in a downward trough with Star Wars content. We've just had some epic stuff given to us over the last year, and we've been announced that movies are coming and things are in the works. So, to keep us going for the meantime, I don't mind some non-canon fun with the franchise. Like, I literally have been watching Game of Thrones stuff. As I know I'm boring, I do the same thing all the time, but I literally had the same thought yesterday about Game of Thrones. How cool would a what if series of Game of Thrones be?
Yeah.
Like what if Khal Drogo did get ships earlier and sailed earlier, and there was, that kind of stuff. Would have been fun. I'm all down for Star Wars what if. All down.
Yeah, I'm definitely into it. That's the only issue I have is if let's say they do a what if with Mace Windu coming back, right? And he did survive. So does that mean they can never go back then and actually have him survive because they did a what if of it?
I think that the outpour of support from the community around that topic would probably perk some people's ears up to maybe make it a live action like Kenobi, like something like that. Yeah. I think it would be good. But yeah, you're right. If they give us a what if, then maybe. But I think they teased, like, go back to Marvel, I think they teased zombie Doctor Strange before we got Doctor Strange evil in the multiverse movie. So it was kind of like a teaser thing.
Yeah, but he wasn't really, he wasn't like a zombie in the movie, though.
Well, he had to come back from the dead, didn't he? He literally raised corpses in that movie of himself to fight against. So it was kind of like they teased it. So maybe they could tease it with Star Wars, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, when I first saw it pop up, and I'm like, oh, so this is a way to kind of shut up Star Wars people, who have all these theories and stuff that they want these people to come back, or they want this, like a good what if would have been like, what if Anakin would have stayed in the light and maybe Kenobi turned, or I'm not sure how they're going to play it off. That's more interesting.
What if Finn was force sensitive?
What if what?
What if Finn was force sensitive?
What if? And what if Sabine wasn't?
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
What if Grogu wasn't so damn cute?
That's right. Oh my gosh. What's up, Kenneth? What's up,
Blaze? Kenneth, good to see you guys.
Yeah. All right. So we have our top Star Wars moments and our worst Star Wars moments of 2023. Yeah, we're a couple weeks behind where we probably should have done this live, but we're here to do it now. So, all right. So we'll start with the positive. So I will bring this up onto the screen here. All right.
It was a heavy year of Star Wars.
What'd you say?
It was a heavy year of Star Wars, and it was a positive outlook in total. But yeah, I like that we're starting with the positive stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll start with the positive. And the way we'll do this is we'll kind of alternate back and forth. I believe on these, I'll be going first each time, and then on the worst, Ryan will be going first. So the first thing I want to say is, I thought there was a lot of really good moments actually. Um, there's definitely some bad ones too, but overall, it's just the hype for Mando 3 and the hype for Ahsoka. Because really, when you think about it, that's really the only two big things that happened. Obviously we had a strike, so that kind of probably messed up things for later in the year because we probably would have got another show in November or December. So unfortunately, that kind of messed it up. But I think overall it was a pretty good year. Obviously, it depends how you want to look at some of the news, and I know like the whole Ray Skywalker news that came out toward the end of the year. I mean that's I don't know, that's interesting stuff, that's for sure. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously 2024, right here about a week ago, we got news that Mando season 4 might be a movie, but now I'm hearing that actually it might not. It might be a movie, but it's actually going to be the conclusion of the season. So that what I heard is that they're going to be doing 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and they're taking the last 2 episodes and making that part of the movie. What do you think about that? I mean, I know it's just
I don't like. I
2004,
don't
but
like that. I don't like that idea.
yeah, I'm not sure why they would do that. To be honest with you, it's a little bit odd, but yeah, I don't know. All right, so
I
let's
hope
go
they don't
through,
do that.
yeah, because that's what I'm hearing. They're going to probably end up doing here. All right,
Okay.
let's go through this. So we have the top five. So number five for me, just a couple of things here. First of all, we get introduced to two of probably the best characters that we've met through the Disney era. And one of the biggest parts with this is that we finally got a different color lightsaber that's not in canon. Like I love the orange look. That was one of the best things about the Ahsoka trailer. Was trying to break down, was it really orange? Was it bad editing? Whatever. But I think it was pretty clear throughout the show that they were orange. And like I said, we got two fantastic actors playing these amazing characters. I can't wait to see where they go. Rest in peace, Ray. It's very, very unfortunate that he passed away. But yeah, I mean, my fifth favorite thing about the year was just the introduction to these two guys right here.
Yeah, I agree. They're very, very good characters. They hold potential for the Star Wars franchise going forward, which is ideally what you want when you're setting up a new character. You want to have people thinking about how they can move forward with these. And like, if Ray hadn't have left us so soon, which is horrible just to even have to go through, obviously, as a fan, but I'm sure it's worse for his family. But I don't know. He would have been the linchpin of the Star Wars franchise going forward. I think he was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, his character might be the best character we've seen in Disney. I mean, I think I guess it's just too bad that he had to pass away, and I still think they're gonna I think they're gonna probably recast because I just think they have so much more story to tell with this character, and obviously everyone will understand. So it's not like a recast because he did a bad job or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
all right, so and then for you, your fifth favorite thing that happened in 2023, we have Jar Jar Binks on the screen.
We have Ahmed Best on the screen. Let's get that right. So we have Ahmed Best. I like the fact that Star Wars as a franchise and Star Wars as a company and the people behind it that run it, they gave Ahmed Best his dues, because that guy, if I'm going to go out on a whim here, but I'm sure that guy has probably received the most hate any other Star Wars actor has ever received. And it wasn't fair. It was only because of the way the world was going and how fast the technology was moving that everybody just kind of shit on the stuff that he was doing. But really, he was transformative within the film genre for what he did. And for him to be given a lead role and to save damn Grogu, like, that's important, and we haven't seen his follow-up yet because they kind of went away from that a little bit in the storyline. So maybe he gets another showing. But yeah, it's there. I had to have Ahmed Best have a shout, and that's for Poppin and for Umpty. I've got your guys' backs, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it. Like, I thought it was a little weird that they have the same actor playing now two different characters, which I know one's, in basically a CGI character, one is, a live action. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess I was hoping for something bigger with the whole Grogu being rescued backstory. But it was cool to see Ahmed Best back, and like I said, at least they kind of made it right because, like you said, maybe beside Hayden, I mean, he probably was the biggest one who got crushed, in the in the for the
In the
prequel
prequels.
area, and it's really not even his fault. I mean, he's just happened to be the person who voiced them, and I guess he's the one who acted as him as well. I think that's how it worked. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was his movements. So, but yeah, I mean, I put that more in George Lucas than I do Ahmed Best, because that was a horrible decision. And obviously George Hurd, because if you look at Jar Jar in the last two movies in that trilogy, he's barely even in it. So he obviously
Yeah,
knew that he made a big mistake there.
and to take it back to the what if question at the beginning, you guarantee there's going to be a Jar Jar what if episode. There has to be in that series.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, for me, we have Rey, and this is the announcement of the Rey Skywalker movie. Um, so the positives of this is, I think that if they do it right, what if they do it right, and you got to do it right, they might be able to salvage something of that trilogy because it was so bad. Um, for me alone, I like Daisy. I think she's a good actress. It's funny. I was watching a video on YouTube. She had an interview. I don't know how long ago it was, but she said that she thought she was horrible in The Force Awakens, and it's so funny because I think she did a great job in Force Awakens. I didn't like her in the other two movies. Last Jedi she was fine, but Rise of Skywalker it was just like going through the motions and everything. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I wish there wouldn't be a 15-year time jump. To be honest with you, though, I'm not crazy about that a 15-year time jump. It doesn't really make sense. Um, 5 years maybe, because I mean, all you do is leave yourself open for okay. Then what in the world's been happening for 15 years? Like I don't understand why are we making such a big time jump? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll judge it when it comes out. But I mean, right now, I'm glad that she feels comfortable enough to come back with what happens, and so I don't know. So that's my
Yeah.
take on it. So that's for me. That's number 4.
She didn't even hit my radar and this news didn't even come into my vicinity of thinking about this list. I'm not a massive Rey fan.
Yeah,
I think they've left it. When was the last movie out that she was in? Because I feel like it's been such a long time.
like Star Wars movie or any movie.
Yeah, like the last Star Wars movie was what, Last Jedi? So when was that?
So no, Rise of Skywalker. That was 2019.
Rise of Skywalker. Oh, okay, so it's been that's a long time. I don't know if I'd be more happier with being introduced to a new character that we could go forward with, but yeah, cool. And is her lightsaber yellow there, or is it orange?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not a massive fan of Daisy Ridley, but we'll see.
Okay. Fair enough. Your fourth favorite thing that happened this year is the World Between Worlds that we finally got to see it in live action.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
my point I'm making is the live action point of World Between Worlds, because for me, you've already made a point that there wasn't very much in the Star Wars realm for 2023, but for me, there was a lot of Star Wars stuff for 2023 because I watched Rebels for the first time.
True.
I watched Clone Wars for the first time. So it was a big year for me. And following the story of the father, the son, and the daughter, and then getting to see the ramifications of what that all meant in live action was just mind-blowing to me. And the way that they visually did it was fantastic. It literally was straight out of the anime when Ezra was at the gate and it was in live action. So yeah, and there's a theme with a lot of the stuff from Ahsoka tonight for me, but yeah, I just love everything about it and how it brings in the magical aspect into it. Because again, some of my favorite characters in the Star Wars franchise are Savage Opress and what's her name? Sorry,
Savage Ventress.
Asajj Ventress. Yeah. So and that they're all very magic orientated, and this is very much so magic orientated. And then you throw in Balan's skull and being connected with it all. It's just it's all brilliant. It's a fantastic portal within the world that we all love.
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job in Ahsoka bringing that into the world. I guess I wish we would have seen a little bit more. Like I was thinking we were going to see the bridges and kind of like we saw in Rebels. So I don't know because I'm assuming that was the world between worlds. That is what we saw. I mean, it makes sense. I guess I just wish we could have seen more of it. But yeah, that was. Hopefully we see it again. Hopefully it's not just a one and done.
There's a couple of continuity things that I need fulfilled with it. Like I need to see in a future Star Wars film, the Emperor. I need him to make acknowledgement of it in some sort of dialogue, just because we've seen him at the gate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and things like that. So I need to have that call back in a future movie from him. But we'll see.
So you want Palpatine to return again?
Oh yeah, of course he's going to return again, bro.
Number 3, at San Diego Comic-Con, they announced the open world game of Star Wars Outlaws. Very not too much is known about it. We know you're going to be a female bounty hunter. I don't know much more beside that, except watching just the trailers. But I'm always in for a new Star Wars game. I wish it would be an MMO, but it seems like it's going to be just a single player, massive world game. Kind of like Hogwarts, or I think it's supposed to be more open world than like Jedi Survivor and all that, because that's kind of a linear storytelling game still. Where Hogwarts was awesome, because I Hogwarts was my game of the year last year, and I just love the open world concept where you could just do whatever you want. And eventually you'll get through it, but you don't have to go in any kind of certain path or anything like that. So I'm excited for this game. I heard it comes out. It's supposed to be coming out this fall or winter. So, we're about 8 or 9 months away from that. So, but yeah, so Star Wars Outlaws.
Cool. Outlaws for me, I don't know, it seems interesting. It has to have lightsabers in it for me to be interested.
Yeah.
It also has to be multiplayer. Did you say it was online multiplayer or solo campaign? Like,
I think it's just. I think it's just like Hogwarts, where it's just you're just playing by yourself, which is that to me that's kind of a miss. But I'm sure it takes a lot of time to make one of those kind of games you can just go play, and with other people. Yeah. Every time I think of that, I just think of WoW, because that's probably the golden standard. So
yeah, well, when I think of Star Wars games, I think of the capabilities that they've got, and like right now there's a game called Starfield out. I don't know if you've seen that, but like you can literally fly from planet to planet, and it's very, very detailed, and it's a space game basically, and it's so damn looks so good, and all you've got to do is slap a Star Wars IP address on there, and like you've got a really cool Star Wars game. But like I don't know how they do it, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm hyped for any Star Wars games. My favorite game that I played last of Star Wars was probably Battlefront.
So you didn't play this Jedi Survivor or Jedi or
no
Fallen Order? No, you want
no. I believe they're Sony only, aren't they?
Are they what?
Were they PlayStation only?
No, you can get those on Xbox.
No, I never played them. Yeah, I never played them. Hey, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny? Kenneth, what did he say? You're having an operation, a heart operation. So this month on the 29th. Well, prayers with you, my man.
Everything goes good, bro. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, keep us posted. So 29th.
I appreciate you being here, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I'll raise a margarita mango to you. I'm drinking.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, let us know. All right, so you're number 3. I'm assuming this is the live adaptation of Grand Admiral Thrawn. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah. So this is a complete and utter seesaw of emotions for me when it comes to Thrawn. Because if you all watched our reactions on the Clone Wars and the Rebels, I'm not a massive fan of him. I didn't think he did anything. Headless, for me, played him up like this super cool dude, and then we met him and he just stands in a car park and talks really quietly and doesn't really do much. And I wasn't really happy with him at all. And then he just gave Ezra a hug and then disappeared off the face of the earth. But then we met Maz Mikkelsen in live action, and this guy brought the character to life for me. I just think he is a phenomenal actor, and the character itself, it's still got backbone to play with, but you could see his might and his interesting techniques in the Star Wars world. He's not rushing to battle with a lightsaber. He's not hot-headed like Anakin. He's not a wise old master like Yoda. He's strategic and tactical, and he's got power and might. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what he does. He's probably my favorite bad guy, because I'm not a massive fan of Vader either, but he's probably my favorite bad guy in the Star Wars franchise. And that's crazy when you think about what I said in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, I liked it a lot as well. It was just outside of my top 5 because I was definitely thinking about it, putting Thrawn in here. My biggest issue is we just didn't get to see him do anything. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, it just, I don't know. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't the same character. It was you saw in Rebels, and and I'm pretty sure you said this yourself in some of our breakdowns. Again, very good job. It is the same actor, which was incredible. They just didn't give him enough to do, and that's definitely not the fault of Lars. It's the fault of the writing of that last couple episodes of the show. But yeah, I mean,
location for me as well.
What was that?
It also comes into like set and location limitations and what they can do within the storyline. Like, I would love to have seen the live action Thrawn in that moment when he's bombarding the planet with bullets and he's about to destroy it, and then he stops just before, and you've got Hera and everybody down there and they're all scared. I would love to have seen that in live action.
Yeah,
do you remember that episode?
Yeah, I do. And that was like the one bad thing about it, is that we didn't really get to see his military mind at work. Like, they try to do that one little part. I can't remember what it is, but that wasn't even that great.
The bombs in the Purgils.
Yeah, the bombs in the Purg. Yeah. That was the one thing. We didn't get to see him in a space battle and like really show what he could do. But I mean, there is season 2. We already know it's started filming, so But yeah, I mean, I did like it. Like I said, it was just outside of my top 5 for Thrawn. So
okay.
All right, my number 2 favorite moment of the year was Anakin Skywalker making his return when we got to see him in the World Between Worlds, and when he got to take Ahsoka on her little journey. And I thought this might have been the best Star Wars of 2023. Heck, it might be the best Disney Star Wars we've gotten so far. Was just this scene, and then just the little trip down memory lane, and her having to fight her own demons and stuff, and finally becoming Ahsoka the White. But I loved it. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it was amazing to see Hayden come back. I'm glad he signed on again, so we should see him more. And I don't know. I mean, I would love to see a what if movie spinoff just with Hayden, and going through his inner turmoil of wanting, between the light and the dark, and maybe making a different choice. I don't know. Just give me more Hayden, dude. Like, he was so good in this. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was such a joy to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to refrain from commenting for a couple of minutes, just because it's coming up.
Yep. All right. So Ryan's number 2. We have a picture of Dave Filoni. So is this Dave Filoni's movie, or
what? So for me, just the man himself, bro. Just you look at it as, I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan. The guy who wrote that is George R.R. Martin. We gave and entrusted all of our hearts, our loves to David and Dan, and they absolutely shat on us from a great height. And we've had very similar stuff with Star Wars as well, with Rian Johnson, and with the battles that those 3 had with the sequels, the sequel trilogy. and how that messed up because it was different directors and stuff, and it wasn't the core creator of the franchise and IP. Now look at George R.R. Martin putting his trust in Ryan Condal for House of the Dragon and how successful that is and how brilliant that show is becoming. Put that on the flip. You've got George Lucas. He put his love and his passion into Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni has gone forward and took it. And he's a child. He's learned under the umbrella of Lucas, and that's why you still get the fantastic shots that you just spoke about with Anakin and Ahsoka. And I just think he is the chosen one. Forget Anakin, it's Dave Filoni for me. And I trust in Dave Filoni and everything that he does, and I love the guy for everything that he's been in, and I love he does cameos as well. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get, I mean, thank God for Dave Filoni. I mean, he gave us Rebels, he gave us Clone Wars. Mando season 3. I don't exactly know what happened there. I would love to know why it was such a I don't know. It was a mess.
He rushed it. He did say though he was more focused on talking about Ahsoka and creating Ahsoka than he did Mando, and that was why it was rushed. He did say that back in the day. Remember?
But I mean, I agree. I mean, if it wasn't for Filoni, I don't even know if we could get any more Star Wars at this point because Kathleen Kennedy has screwed it up so bad with that Ryan Johnson crap. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why I hold him in the same regard as Ryan Condal from House of the Dragon. They're both adopted lovers of our favorite franchises.
Right. All right. My top moment of 2023, and this really goes back to rewatching Rebels and even rewatching a certain arc. And when I saw this at the end of Ahsoka, absolutely amazing. I don't know what happened in my little picture there, but that was a picture of Balin's skull. But just them bringing in the Mortis gods, I think was such a great decision. And I don't know, man. It's I cannot wait to see what they do with this. I mean, I don't know how you put this in here and not just dive deep. So this for me was just, I was blown away. I mean, I made so many videos on this part. It was my favorite thing to talk about last year, and I can't wait to see where they go with this, man.
Yep, I completely agree with you. It's probably the one redeeming factor of the planet for me, which we'll get onto a little bit later in the show. It's fantastic. I only wish I'd have known when I was first watching Clone Wars, which you had brought me through, and the Rebel storyline, that it would have been so important, because it was a very early episode that it happened.
It was.
And the backstory and origin of it all, but it is probably the most rewatched arc of the whole Star Wars animated stuff that I've ever seen. I rewatched that arc many times.
Yeah, I would say that arc and then the final arc. Yeah, no, I agree. Duck, I don't know why they didn't make it to the game yesterday. We're not going to talk about that. We don't talk about the Browns anymore. Well, there's always next year. Oh God, dude, that was a crap game. And Ryan, your number one was my number two. It looks like Ahsoka and Anakin. I think he's fixing his mic.
So it's the fight between the two of them. Who, me?
A little choppy.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know why. So it was just a fight between the two of them for me, and it was the anticipation and the flashbacks to when she was younger. And again, you got to take it back to the fact that 2023 was the year that I was introduced to Ahsoka as a proper character and as following her story all the way through. So for me, it held more weight than anything else that had happened, because she was meeting Anakin for the first time again after all of what had happened. So I was just hyped for it. And yeah, the scenery, bro. Look at that shot. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, and that actress who plays young Ahsoka was absolutely amazing, and they couldn't have cast it more perfect. I mean, it was awesome, And then you get the great scenes with him flashing between Anakin and Vader. It was so well done. Like I said, I mean, this in the final scene. I mean, those two parts were so awesome in Ahsoka, and I mean, I think it really got us hyped, for what was coming next. Yep. And unfortunately, it kind of just ended because the strike lasted so long, and we just got nothing else. But we got some stuff coming up this year, so we'll see where they're going, man. We'll see where they're going.
Definitely.
All right, so that was our top 5 favorite or moments of Star Wars in 2023. All right, we are going to go ahead and bounce on over, and we're going to talk about our least favorite. Share this with you guys. So these are.
If you're listening now, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and comment down below your favorite 5 moments as well, because we'd be interested to know what yours are.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to start off with our number 5 worst Star Wars moment of 2023. And from Brian, I think you're up first now. So this is yours. And you have this delicious looking little guy here. How can he be on the worst list?
No, dude, I didn't wrote delicious little guy. I wrote little green shit. That's what I wrote. Dude, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of the pandering to the stupid little green alien that does absolutely nothing. Like his forefather before him, Yoda, just sits on a chair and does absolutely nothing and makes decisions and says, I'm all powerful, talks him back with riddles. Like, dude, just talk normally. I don't get it. Baby Yoda, like that whole thing was cute with the IG-12 robot, but come on, like he trained with Luke and he was doing all these. He turned down the Jedi, and like he's still being carried around like he's a baby. He can fight. He can do these things. Give him more stuff to do. Put his life in actual danger and actual peril, because I never believe that they're ever going to kill him, and I'm sick of it. So that was the worst. It was too much Grogu for me in 1 year.
So that's what Ryan says. So I mean, listen, I'm a huge Grogu fan. I just didn't like Grogu in season 3. Grogu did nothing in season 3, and again, I think it's part of it is because they didn't know what to do with Mando. They had issues with Pedro Pascal, and I think they just basically gave most of the storyline to Bo-Katan. And Grogu literally did nothing in the entire season. And you're right. I think it's very unfortunate that because I know we talked about this during our live streams for Mando. They literally could have just not even had Grogu in there and let him stay with Luke. But again, when Kathleen Kennedy comes in and she's like, no, you gotta bring him back, because she thinks that people aren't going to watch. Dude, people are going to watch if it's a good story. And then maybe halfway through the season, you bring Grogu back, or maybe the last episode even. Like, think of how amazing it would be to like go through how Mando is feeling, and he's got to go through, doing the whole thing on, trying to get it over to Mandalore and all that kind of stuff. He does what he's got to do, but he's also coping with the fact that he's been with this little green guy, who is almost like his son at this point, and maybe a year goes by or something, and then he's we see him coping, and it just builds character. Instead, he takes the closest Uber X-wing, and hey, I'm back, and supposedly a year and a half passed.
And mass genocide as well. How many eggs he's eating? That's actual aliens and people. Like, he's killing people, guys, and nobody cares. He's just a cute green alien. Like, see past the cuteness,
Well, his kill count is still in his highest choppers. So,
no, not yet.
I don't know what's going on with my slideshow, dude. I spent so much time on this, and I don't know why the background's not right. But anyways, so my 5th least favorite thing was Ezra. I did not enjoy the live action Ezra. I thought it was cheesy. I didn't see any, he was still like a little immature kid. And, you've been living by yourself for, gosh, we're talking like at least 10 years alone on this planet. You haven't seen your friends or any, I don't know. It was really odd. I didn't love the blue eyes either. I thought the eye contacts were weird. It just looks weird. I don't know. I didn't love it. And to me, it was a little disappointing. Where I thought Thrawn they did pretty good with. Even Sabine for the most part, I thought they did a pretty good job. Hera I loved. Ezra was I couldn't get into it, man. It just didn't. It felt like Aladdin to me. It just the whole time I'm just like, oh, this is like Aladdin. So that's my fifth least favorite part of Star Wars.
Okay, so for me, Ezra connects himself with Thrawn for me, and on that basis of saying one character was reconnected and another character was disconnected in my love for the stuff. I didn't like Thrawn going into it and ended up coming out loving him, and I loved Ezra going into it and came out hating him. So it's like they both flip-flopped with each other. I don't like the new Ezra, and I agree with the Aladdin thing. I agreed they call him a street rat in the first episode of Rebels, and he's very much Aladdin in this.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I hated that they did that too. It just right there, just in the back of your mind, you're just like, oh yeah, this looks like Aladdin. So, all right, your number 4 worst part of Star Wars, and actually this is my number 4 too, but I think they're a little bit different. So I'll let you start.
Okay, so for me, when you have to shoehorn in very popular comedic actors into a show, you've already gone down the wrong path. That Mandalorian was not designed and was not written to be a comedy show. And to have these two in it just to fan service or just to, I don't know what it was. I just don't understand why they were brought into it. I know that the world was very weird and wonderful, but the characters just do not fit at all within the storyline and within the way the story was going in the world. Like, who are they? Where are they? What was the planet they were on? And I just disagree with all the stuff that the celebrity world forced the change of script and scenes. Like, why is she holding Grogu? Because she demanded it in her contract when she signed the Star Wars thing. That's why she's holding Grogu, and that's what I disagree with. She wasn't holding Grogu because the story deemed it so. It was because her contract deemed it so, and that's where I disagree. And Jack Black, you're just going to tag along with her because you were in those scenes. I have nothing against you, Jack Black. I love you, but yeah, just stick to Mario and singing on the piano to Peaches.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't stand it, and actually, I thought you were just going to go off their characters. I am in 100% agreement. It's the same thing. I hate when they put these cameos in just to put a cameo. Like, make the cameo make some sense. Like, for example, Bill Burr, when he was in Mandal, and I think it was episode 4 or 5 in the first season, and then he ends up coming back in season 2, in episode 7. Dude, that was a good cameo because he's not, Bill Burr is famous, but like he's not as famous as like Jack Black, right? And he's not as like, to me, if he felt like part of the Star Wars universe, dude, these two are like, it felt like I was back on Canto Bite in Last Jedi. It was just so bad. Yeah. I didn't even love Christopher Lloyd. Like, you have that big of an actor come in just to do a little cameo. It just seems cheesy and I don't like it. I didn't like it. It was horrible, and that was my least favorite episode of all Mando. Gosh, that was so bad. All right, Your number 3 was the destruction of the dark saber.
Your numbers. Is it not yours?
This is your number 3 because we both had number 4. I didn't say number 4. We're on yours.
Yeah, I apologize. So yeah, the Darksaber for me, they destroyed it. They broke the canonization of it and all this stuff. Like, he was disarmed by the crazy alien in the basement, and that's how she ended up getting. It was all super confusing as how it was being held, and then they just destroyed it anyway. And it's like, okay, you just did that so you can make a new one next year and you can come out and sell more merchandise. Like, I don't get it. Like, that was probably the coolest lightsaber I'd ever known. And the backstory with it about being Mandalorian and about the honor and all that kind of stuff just made so much sense. And for it to be crushed on screen, for me, that was this year's version of Luke throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder.
Yeah. It's a good point. Dude, it's terrible. It was so terrible. I mean, what are they doing? Like, I don't understand. What are they doing? Why are they destroying this thing for like no reason? There was no reason to. Like, for what reason? Now again, maybe they'll come back and they'll just use the crystal, and maybe they'll make something different. Maybe the reason why is because they didn't want to have the Darksaber be the thing that allows the Mandalore leader to rule. I mean, it could be that. So I'm still hopeful that we'll use that crystal for something. But again, if it's some kind of blaster or laser, it needs to be some kind of lightsaber again. So I don't know, dude. I agree. Terrible. I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, and the whole how it went down, how he lost it to the alien thing, and then she disarmed the alien thing, so that she was the leader. I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was a cop out right there. So they didn't have to fight. My number 3 is it's the Rey movie announcement. So that was on my favorite list too, and I'm excited for it. But with that being said, I'm also super nervous for this. I mean, this could literally end Star Wars. Like if this is horrible, this could literally end it. Like I don't know why they're even taking the chance, but we'll see what happens. But man, oh man, this made both lists for me because I'm really nervous about this. I just feel like the backlash from the fans and social media, dude. I don't know, man. They better know what they're doing because this is the one that scares me the most. So, but I
can get that.
Yeah,
I can get your understanding behind it. I think what they need to do is everybody in the Star Wars boardroom, everybody needs to get together and they need to come to an agreement of where the stories are going to end up. Because right now it feels like you've got Band A over here making their own Star Wars movie, and then Band B over here making their own Star Wars stuff. And it's like, eventually, guys, you're going to run out of time travel area and you're going to have to collide and something's going to happen, or you're going to make mistakes and you're going to get fooled for it. So like, I completely agree that Headless is excited and nervous for this. I just don't care either or because I'm more invested in the Dave Filoni stuff. Like this stuff for me is just like, yeah, whatever. It's Kathleen Kennedy. I'm just waiting for her to get fired, and then this might get cancelled. That's how I see this kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
and we haven't even really
talked
about the comments made by the director and all that. I'm not gonna get into all that. It's just so dumb. Mm-hmm. Bad comments. I don't know what they're thinking. So, anyways, your second least favorite was Peridia.
Yeah, bro, it was Peridia. So this whole planet was the whole acclamation of where Ezra and Thrawn ended up going at the end of that season. And they built it up. And then there was really nothing there. We found some sleeping witches. We found some wolves and some snails and Ezra. Oh, Ezra's back, by the way, guys. And then they left Ahsoka there. Like, okay, maybe we can explore it next year, but it's a whole damn planet. I don't think the weather changed once. I really didn't think the weather changed at all in the whole show while we were on that planet. And I don't know. I just wanted to see more of it. It's literally an open gateway for Star Wars to go and have fun on this planet because this is all stuff that they can make up, that they don't have to have explanations for. And the hardcore fan isn't going to get upset if something isn't right because this is all made up. So go and have fun with it and stretch your legs. But no, we got there and then we left. Like, okay. I was bored of it already. I had to look up the name of the planet because I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, now granted, they were only on this planet for what, 2 episodes technically, right? Because I think, I think it's 2. Don't they find
only redeeming factor is the end?
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more because you're right. It basically just reminds me of 80% of the other planets we've seen in Star Wars, where just rocky, dusty desert. It's just like another version of Tatooine, and it's another version of Jakku. It's just very similar. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
I'm sure we'll go back because we got the statues and Balin was pointing out, and it looked like there was the
right.
Abeloth and that kind of stuff. So we're going back there. So there's time to do themselves, but yeah.
Right, and it's funny because I'm actually creating a video right now on this. I don't want to say too much, but what my hope for Ahsoka season 2 is that I hope they're on this planet the entire season. Like I want it to be almost 2 shows in one. Like can we please get Luke? Like, how is Luke just sitting at home? If a Thrawn comes back, like he has to know who Thrawn is. He's been around. Well, I guess he wasn't really around, um, but anyway, I mean, I don't know. I hope we get to see some Luke. Hopefully he pairs up with Hera, and I don't know. It'd just be cool. But as far as Balon and Shin and Sabine and Ahsoka, I hope they're on this planet the entire season. Like, I hope that it's not like at the end of the season, at the end of episode 1, and then all of a sudden we're done with it. Like, all that work to get there, and then all of a sudden we're just done with it. So I don't. We'll see.
I agree. Yep.
All right, so we are going over to my second least favorite thing of the year, and it has to be this. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how this wasn't number 1 for me. I can't stand it. I liked Sabine for the most part in the series, but I could not stand this in the last episode. That all of a sudden she just uses the Force, and it's not even like a small Force movement. It's literally she's throwing Ezra, who even knows how far, onto the ship. Like, it was so silly and just, I don't know. I couldn't stand this. I hate that she's Force sensitive. Again, I don't mind her being able to wield a lightsaber, because we've seen her do it before. But this was so bad. Now I'm wondering why I didn't put this as number 1. But I don't know. Yeah, this ruined almost the entire series for me. It was so bad.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that this scene ruined the series, kind of, for me. It not ruined the series because the series was fantastic as a whole, but it definitely gave it that stinky smell. And for me, I had to double take when you actually first put this up, because I genuinely, and this is not a joke, thought that was from the Willow show. Yeah. I thought that was Mad Mardigan jumping there. So yeah, I genuinely, honestly thought it was from Willow, and then I realized it wasn't. But yeah, it was silly, such a silly move. She didn't really show any signs of it all the way through it. Like, they more so played out the fact that she wasn't Force sensitive, and then all of a sudden, boom, the light switch was on. Yeah. And she was. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It just. I just don't. I don't see the reason why we had to do this. Why can't we just have someone
woke Disney? Because it's woke Disney.
Yeah, I mean, because Rey and Ahsoka are the only 2 females. I mean, granted, we've seen other females. We've seen Asajj. We've seen. I mean, there's plenty of our Jedi that are just maybe not main characters, but I don't know. Why do you have to bring someone new then? I don't know. It was so bad. I hated that scene so much. But anyways. All right. Your least favorite thing was Balan's skull, which I'm assuming here you were talking about the passing of Rey.
I am indeed, yeah. So this was when you asked me to do this video or this live stream. I already knew that this was going to be the worst thing for me for 2023 in Star Wars. Just the ultimate, what's the word I'm looking for? The potential that Balon Skull and Ray Stevenson had as a character going into Star Wars, and this was just his swan song. This was his opening scene, and he did absolutely fantastic. And he brought so much emotion and so much. Like, dude, just remember that one time when we first get introduced to Balon and he gets off that ship and he's very Darth Vader-esque, and we had so many questions about it and we didn't know who they were, and it was so damn bloody good. And then they built it all the way through the season, and he was such a fantastic character. And then to even put the nice cherry on the top with a nice little ribbon, he's going after the Mortis arc. And I'm like, oh my God, what a fantastic thing. And then we get hit with the news that Ray Stevenson passed away. And it's just an absolute horror and an absolute misfortune on the world and on the Star Wars franchise and on him and his family. And it just had to be the worst thing for me, regardless of any content or regardless of any storyline that's made up or anything. This man was a real man. This man, his life is gone, and that's the worst thing that could have happened to any Star Wars fan for me going forward in 2023. So yeah, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when I was at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, this would have been 22, and he came out on stage. I think he was with the actress that played Shin and maybe even Pedro. I think there's like I'm sorry, not Pedro, Rosario, and they came out and dude, it was like just like you could tell, people literally just stopped and listened. Like everything he said, people are just soaking it in because like nobody knew then what kind of character he was gonna be. We didn't know about the orange lightsaber, but the presence of him when he came out on that stage, it was awesome to listen to him. And
Yeah.
I never got to really meet him, but at least I was able to see him. Talk about his role very, very, secretly, of course, because again, the show didn't come off for under 14, 15 months after that, but it was really cool. So, but yeah, rest in peace. Absolutely.
And I don't bestow on the replacement of him to anybody greater than Sean Bean. I will not be happy unless it is Sean Bean. For me, here's the personification of that character going forward. And that's the biggest honor I could give him because, you guys know how much I love Game of Thrones and you know how much Ned Stark means to any Game of Thrones fan. So to be able to connect that character with Balon Skull going forward, for me, would be a cherry on top. And I think that Sean Bean would probably do the role in honor of Ray Stevenson because I believe they were friends as well. So it would be good. Yeah, Dave Filoni, listening?
All right. Yeah, if Dave Filoni's listening. All right, so my least favorite part of Star Wars in 2023, yes, and of course, I don't know why the background is not popping up for me on these. I'm not sure what I did wrong. It's like this, or you know what I did, dude? I might have I kind of want to fix it, but I know I also don't want to slow down the stream. But I think I know what I did. So, because it's supposed to be this image over here. As you see on my thumbnails, there you go. Oh, this right here. See, I don't know why I stopped popping up. See how weird that is?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be the picture of the Mandalorian, which I guess we're not going to worry about now. But for me, it was all of Mandalorian. And then I included the Darksaber in there too, which I had mentioned earlier. But I just think that the whole Mandalorian season 3 was a disaster. I know there was a few episodes in there that we really enjoyed, but the second half of that season was a train wreck, and I just absolutely hated the direction of it. I hated that they made it the Bo-Katan show, even though I am a fan of Bo-Katan. It's just sometimes there's too much of a good thing, and I think we saw way too much Bo-Katan. Armorer literally did nothing. We had a bunch of theories were going with her, and again, she just basically did nothing in the background. I mean, I don't know. I thought Mando season 3 was the worst part of 2023, especially the last four episodes there. I don't know. I don't even know what they're going to do to fix this, honestly. But I don't know. That's about all I got. It was so disappointing for me. With that.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you score 2023 Star Wars?
So I definitely, like I said in the beginning, I definitely think there was a lot of really good stuff, but there was a lot of really bad stuff too. So if I had to give it an overall score, I'd probably give it like about a 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 9. But
a 9?
Again, I was 2023 was Clone Wars, just Rebels. It was everything for me, and it was the whole breakdown stuff with you, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and going through all that and creating the editing and everything for me. 2023 is the Star Wars year for me because we made it that way, and I'll always remember it. So that's why it's so high up. I don't know if we'll ever get a better year of Star Wars. For me in content sense. So
no, you're right.
Thank you for the ride, and it's been brilliant. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I include rewatching all of that, I would definitely be around a 9 as well. Basically, I'm kind of scoring this on 4 big factors. Factor 1 was Mando season 3. Factor 2 was Ahsoka. Factor 3 was the announcements of the Rey movie, and then number 4 was the announcement of the video game. Like for me, those are like probably the big 4 things that happened, and then there's obviously bits and pieces in each. Like I said, my favorite parts were bringing in the Mortis gods. I hope that's what the route they're going. And I love Balon and I love Shin, and I'm excited for the game, but I'm very, very questionable and somewhat hyped and just hyped and nervous about that Rey movie, guys. I just feel like if it's bad, dude, I think we're in trouble. I really think that Star Wars could be in trouble if they can't get a movie like that to hit, which I think is one of the reasons why they're doing what they're doing with Mando, because I don't think they want that Rey movie to be the first movie out. I think they want it to be Mando. And we had talked backstage a little bit about the rumor is that they're doing 6 episodes of Mando on Disney Plus, and then they're taking the last 2 and making a movie out of it because they don't want the Rey movie to be the first one back. I think that's what they're doing. So we'll see. I mean,
Okay.
that's why it's like a 6.5, 7 tops if you don't include the rewatches. But it is what it is.
Okay.
But
yeah, no, and I like those differences because it was so much on those, and you were rewatching them. So yeah. But I like it. I like that we went with the route that we went. But let us know, guys, what you thought was your worst 5 and best 5 down below.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if you watch us on the rewatch, and moving forward in 2024, supposedly we're getting Bad Batch 3. Tales of the Jedi Season 2, we're getting Skeleton Crew, and then we're also supposed to be getting Acolyte. And I mean, we'll talk about those again in another live probably about how excited we are for these things. And there's still a lot we don't even know about them, honestly, because it's just based, the basic premise is what we know. Bad Batch, I'm not really a big fan of it. Tales of the Jedi I absolutely loved. And the other 2 shows, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, once we get some kind of footage, we can definitely dive deeper into those too. So, but I don't know. Anything else there, Ryan? Anything you're looking forward to in 2024?
Just a side note for House of the Dragon. Did you see that Matt Smith leaked a possible start date?
No. What was it?
He said the 1st of August, which it can't be because that's a Thursday. So it could be the 5th of August on a Sunday.
So the 5th. See, that would be perfect because I'll be back from vacation. I'll be refreshed. I'll be ready to roll right into the House of the Dragon. Maybe we get maybe we get some spoiler stuff at San Diego Comic-Con. For me, that's the perfect start date. I know we gotta wait about another month and a half, probably more than we thought. But for me, that's like the perfect time because that way I can get to a panel and I can check some stuff out and we'll see what happens. But, and I'm obviously home.
He was asked in an interview. He slipped the day. He said, yeah, August 1st. And then he went, yeah, later in the year. He corrected himself straight afterwards. So, we'll see. August 1st
Love it.
Yeah, August 1st actually is a Thursday, and they're not going to drop it on a Thursday. HBO does Sunday drops. So.
Yeah, it's a Sunday drop for sure.
I'm also looking forward to, just before we head out, I'm also looking forward to The Ones Who Live, the Rick and Michonne story that's literally coming out in like a month's time.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. That's going to be good.
I hope it's better than
we're going to be watching the
Fallout.
What's the other one we're going to be watching? We're going to be watching Fallout and breaking that down and talking to you guys about that. I'm super hyped for things to come this year.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. We're out. Thank you so much. We're back on Sundays. So 7 p.m. each Sunday moving forward. Obviously, Super Bowl Sunday, we probably won't be doing this unless we go earlier in the day or something. You can stay tuned to our channels and to let you know about that. And for Ryan, I'm Headless. Thank you so much. Keep those heads on. Stay milky. And don't forget, we will see you guys in the next